Hello, good evening, my dear junior inter students. Welcome to this online classes. Today's English class is a poem. As you know, already we have seen two poems and one prose lesson. As a part of our program, it is planned to do another poem today also because poems create somewhat interest among the children and it is easy also, and sometimes it will give you some kind of inspiration. So why I have selected another poem to do in this class. Actually, there are five poems because of the pandemic situation. One poem is omitted and deleted for this year only, and the remaining four poems, two already we have seen, we have completed. This is the third one. As I grew older. This is a very different poem. We have seen the poems with some kind of regular rhyming scheme, diction, music, all these things. But you can see this poem in a different way. There will be no regular rhyme scheme or diction or any kind of irregularities. It is a free verse. We can call it a free verse. So there are very beautiful words selected and put them in order, and the poet has taken full freedom to write it on his own. This is the thing. See, as I grew older was written by Langdon Hughes. As I grew older, I grew older. I refers to the poet here. He is the narrator. He narrates the poem. Langston Hughes is the author. Actually, he is an Afro-American poet, a black man. He was born in America. And if we see the present program, first let us say something about the author, I mean the poet. Next, what is this poem about? Third one, the text, line by line, let us see. Next, summary of the poem. It covers the total uh, poem. And some of the images I have collected from the Chrome, Google. So it shows the racial discrimination in America. Actually, America is a land of white people once, very long back. So later, black people also started, I mean, taking residence there little by little. Today, there is about 30% of black people residing in America. So once they were not with the freedom, so they were really faced lots of problems. So this author is also Afro-American, a Negro who lived in America, and he envisioned, he dreamt about very free America. That means free, freedom to the black people also. So we can see some of the images collected from the Google. And next, finally, assignment, how questions will be, an essay type questions, and annotations. There will be 3-4 annotations from this poem. So how an annotation can be attempted? One is given in the textbook, and the next one I have given as a model. The remaining that you can do as an assignment. Okay, if you see, look at the picture of the poet. Actually, his full name is James Mercer Langston Hughes. James Mercer Langston Hughes. It is the name of the poet who wrote the poem As I Grew Older. He was born on February 1st in 1902 in Missouri, United States of America. Missouri, the United States of America. Actually, he was not only a poet, he was also a very active person, a social activist, an active member in freedom struggle of for the racial discrimination, and novelist, playwright, and a regular columnist also. He contributed many articles to magazines. He was born in the United States of America, but he was an African. He is best known as a leader of the Harlem Renaissance. Harlem Renaissance, you know what happened in America, how black people were ill treated, how drastically, how badly they were treated, and how they were deprived of uh, equality. So, this writer has written so many poems, short stories, novels, highlighting the ill treatment of the Americans towards the black people, Africans. So he always wanted to portray the stories of his own black people, I mean, Africans, in their culture, about their sufferings, the music, their laughter, their language, and whatever. So he wanted to highlight the lives of the African people in America. So black people, how they lived, what kind of problems they faced, how they were driven away from the churches, schools, and public places. All these things were highlighted in his poems. So we can say he is a patriotic writer of black people in America. His voice was raised for the oppressed, depressed, and suppressed Afro Americans. So he always fought for the betterment of the African people. It was the wish of the author to have freedom, to be independent, to be equal with all the white people in America. So he envisioned equality, brotherhood, and love from white people in his lifetime. So throughout his life, he had a very long dream of having good freedom, equality, to play with the white people, to move with, to travel with, to have all kinds of equality in every public place, in every place, equal job opportunities. So everywhere he wanted to be equal with the white people, but his dream, whether became true or not, that we can see in the poem. Notable works. What are his notable works? His Not Without Laughter is a very beautiful poem. The Weary Blues, My People, Harlem Sweeties. So these are some of his writings. So whatever he has written, every book, every writing of this author, I mean, Langston Hughes, has a touch of his own culture, his own language, his own laughter, music, suffering, everything related to his own people. So that is something about this author, Hughes, Langston Hughes. And when you come to the poem, As I Grew Older, it is a very beautiful poem, and it is a kind of inspirational, a very good motivation poem. So it motivates the people of Africans. Actually, the people of Africa always dreamt of equality, brotherhood. So they wanted to live on par with the white people in America. But for so long years, it was not possible. It did not happen. His wish was not fulfilled. So, As I Grew Older is a very beautiful poem. It is about the dreams the poet had when he was in childhood days. What were his dreams? His dream was to have freedom, independence. So there should not be slavery. So he would not like to uh, be in slavery of the white people. So he wanted to be a free man. He wanted to achieve his dream because of racial discrimination. It became uh, unfulfilled. Actually, his dream was having freedom, having equality, having brotherhood, and having all kinds of facilities what the white people had. But it became unfulfilled because of the racial discrimination. So there was a very clear difference the white people showed. The poet in his childhood days had dreams, many dreams, to sit along with the white people, to study along with the white people in schools. So there were separate schools, separate worshipping places. Everything was separate for the black people in those days. As the time passed and he grew up, he was uh, subjected to racial prejudice and oppression. He felt more and more oppression until his lost life, until his death. He did not see, freedom. He did not see both white and black people sitting together and having a good prayer in the church. So it became unfulfilled dream. Actually, this carries a theme of achieving his dream, but realized that he was defeated due to social barriers. Why was he defeated? That's the question. Actually, when we see the poem, we can understand he realized his defeat because of racial discrimination. See, he refers to different symbols. He uses different symbols to show the barriers. Barriers means obstacles, hurdles, ante addankulu between the blacks and whites in the American society. So American society lo బ్లాక్ పీపుల్ మరియు వైట్ పీపుల్ మధ్యలో ఉన్నటువంటి జాతి వివక్ష, అంటే నల్ల జాతీయులు శ్వేత జాతీయులు అనేటువంటి ఒక వివక్ష ఉండేది, ఆ డిఫరెన్స్ అనేది ఉండేది. సో అమెరికన్స్ నల్ల జాతీయుల్ని చాలా హీనంగా చూసేవారు. వారికి ఎక్కడా కూడా సమానమైనటువంటి హక్కులు లేవు, సమానమైనటువంటి ట్రీట్మెంట్ లేదు. సెపరేట్ స్కూల్స్, సెపరేట్ చర్చెస్, separate shops, separate buses, everything was separate. There was no equality. They were not allowed to the colonies of white people. White people నివసిస్తున్నటువంటి కొన్ని రెసిడెన్షియల్ ఏరియాస్ కి ఈ బ్లాక్ పీపుల్స్ కి అసలు ప్రవేశమే లేదు. దే వర్ నాట్ అలౌడ్. ఆ చిన్న పిల్లల్ని కూడా వాళ్ళు చాలా హీనంగా చూసేటువంటి వాళ్ళు, వాళ్ళు ఎక్కడికి కూడా అలో చేసేటువంటి వాళ్ళే కాదు. ఈ వివక్ష అనేటువంటి దాంతోనే అవర్ ఆథర్ హ్యూస్ వాంటెడ్ టు రైట్ పోయమ్స్ హైలైటింగ్ ద ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ ది వైట్ పీపుల్. అండ్ హీ, ఒక పోయెట్, తన యొక్క రచనల్లో అక్కడ ఉన్నటువంటి తారతమ్య భేదాల్ని బయటకు చూపిస్తూ తను ఏ రకమైనటువంటి ట్రీట్మెంట్ కావాలని కోరుకున్నాడు, ఏ రకమైనటువంటి వాతావరణం ఉండాలని కోరుకున్నాడు అనేటువంటిదే ఈ పోయంలో. ఇది అతనికి చిన్నతనం నుండి, చిన్న వయసు నుండి కూడా, చిన్ననాటి నుండి కూడా ఉన్నటువంటి ఒక కళ. అంటే అందరితో పాటు సమానంగా ఉండాలి, ఆ శ్వేత జాతీయులతో కూడా సమానమైనటువంటి హక్కులు ఉండాలి, ఉద్యోగ అవకాశాలు, మరి పాఠశాలలు కానీ, కళాశాలలు కానీ, లేదా వర్షిపింగ్ ప్లేసెస్ అంటే టెంపుల్స్, చర్చెస్, ఎక్కడైనా కానీ అందరూ సమానము అనేటువంటి ఒక భావన కలిగే విధంగా బ్రదర్హుడ్, సోదర భావం అనేటువంటిది కలిగి ఉండాలనేటువంటిది ఇతని యొక్క ఆలోచన. బట్ అది నెరవేరకుండానే తన యొక్క జీవితకాలం అంతమైపోతుంది అనేటువంటిది ఇతని యొక్క బాధ. సో అతనికి హీ హ్యాడ్ మెనీ డ్రీమ్స్ ఇన్ హిస్ చైల్డ్హుడ్ డేస్. అతను చిన్న వయసులో ఉన్నప్పుడు, చిన్నతనంగా అంటే చిన్న బాల్యంలో ఉండేటప్పుడు హీ హ్యాడ్ సో మెనీ డ్రీమ్స్, ఎస్పెషలీ బ్రదర్హుడ్, లవ్, ఈక్వాలిటీ. ఇవి అతనిలో ఉన్నటువంటి ముఖ్యమైనటువంటి కళలు. అంటే తెల్లవాళ్ళతో పాటు, అమెరికన్ వైట్ పీపుల్ తో పాటు సమానమైనటువంటి హక్కులు కలిగి ఉండాలి, వారితో పాటు అన్ని రకాల ఆనందాలు తను కూడా పొందాలి అనేటువంటిది. కానీ బ్రదర్హుడ్, లవ్, వారి నుండి ప్రేమ కోరుకున్నాడు, వారి నుండి సోదర భావం కోరుకున్నాడు. కానీ వాళ్ళు మాత్రం వీళ్ళని చాలా హీనంగా ట్రీట్ చేసేటువంటి వాళ్ళు. వారి యొక్క ట్రీట్మెంట్, వాళ్ళు ఎలా చూసుకునేటువంటి వాళ్ళు అంటే చాలా తక్కువగా, బానిసల్లాగా చూసుకునేటువంటి వాళ్ళు. సో దే ట్రీటెడ్ ఆల్ బ్లాక్ పీపుల్ యాజ్ స్లేవ్స్. సో వై ద పోయట్ వాస్ ఇన్ అప్రెస్డ్ కండిషన్, హి వాస్ ఇన్ డిప్రెస్డ్ సిచ్యువేషన్. సో అతనికి ఏమాత్రం సంతోషమే లేదు జీవితకాలం అంతా కూడా. ఈ పోయం పూర్తిగా కూడా డిఫరెంట్ టోన్. వాట్ ఈస్ ద టోన్ ఆఫ్ ద పోయం అని చూస్తే, సో ఇట్ ఈస్ విత్ ద టోన్ ఆఫ్ hope, hopefulness. But here and there we can see the change of the tone. First 6 lines, optimistic tone, Ashavadam. 7 to 16, depressing, angry, Kopamu, Okarakanga Bada. 17 to 23, pessimism, Nirasha. తను అనుకున్నటువంటి కళ నెరవేరదు అనేటువంటి ఒక నిరాశ. సో 24 to 33, hope. Once again, the closing lines of the poem shows the hope of the poet. The poet has a very strong hope that one day people of America and Africans would become equal. They would go hand in hand. They would be just like brothers. So ఈ డ్రీమ్ అనేటువంటిది చివరి లైన్స్ లో ఒక హోప్ తప్పనిసరిగా నెరవేరుతుంది అనే విధమైనటువంటి దీంతో క్లోజ్ చేస్తున్నాడు కన్క్లూషన్. ఓవరాల్ ఇట్ ఈస్ ద హోప్ ఆఫ్ ద పోయట్ టు అచీవ్ హిస్ డ్రీమ్. వాట్ వాస్ హిస్ డ్రీమ్? 3 థింగ్స్. ట్రీట్మెంట్ ఆఫ్ వైట్ పీపుల్ షుడ్ బి ఈక్వల్ and they should love all equally and they should be brotherhood. So these are the main things. They should not be ill treatment. They should not be dependency. They should not be slavery. బానిసత్వం ఉండకూడదు. అందరికీ సమానమైన హక్కులు కావాలి అనేటువంటిది. See, the poem is composed in one stanza. ఇది పూర్తిగా కూడా ఒకే ఒక స్టాన్సా లాగా ఉంది. ఒకే స్టాన్సా లాగా ఉంది కానీ ఇట్ ఈస్ ఫ్రీ వెర్స్ విత్ ఇర్రెగ్యులర్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద లైన్స్, నో స్పెసిఫిక్ రైమ్ స్కీమ్, no diction. The diction is very simple. So actually very beautiful words packed in a irregular order, in an irregular order. That's the poem, that's all. So there are no restrictions, all these things. So what he wished in his mind, tanu edaithe anukunnado, so he put it as a poem, that's all. So he did not think about very detailed structure of the poem. He wanted to highlight the dream when he grew older. What was his dream when he was a boy, and how the dream has become, the same, and how there is a difference, how there is a long distance between the dream and the poet, whether he could reach the dream or not. Tana anukunnatuvanti aa kala, tana chinna vayasulo, తన యొక్క బాల్యంలో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ కళ నెరవేరకుండా పోతూ ఉంది. అంటే మధ్యలో ఆ గ్యాప్ అనేటువంటిది పెరిగిపోతూ ఉంది. ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యలో, అంటే కవి మరియు అతని యొక్క కళ, ఈ రెండింటి మధ్యలో ఒక పెద్ద గోడ అనేటువంటిది, వాల్ అనేటువంటిది ఏర్పడుతుంది. దట్ మీన్స్, సో వాట్ ఈస్ దట్ వాల్? దట్ ఈస్ ద రేషియల్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్. దట్ ఈస్ ది రేషియల్ ఇంజస్టిస్, డిస్క్రిమినేషన్, జాతి వివక్ష. దానిని ఎవ్వరూ కూడా ఏమి చేయలేరు అనేటువంటి ఒక నైరాశ్యం, అంటే నిరాశ అనేటువంటిది కూడా ఏర్పడుతుంది కవికి. సో మనం వెన్ వి గో ఇన్ టు ద పోయం, మనం ఒక్కసారి పోయంలోకి వెళ్ళినట్లయితే, యాజ్ ఐ గ్రూ ఓల్డర్ ఈజ్ అ వెరీ బ్యూటిఫుల్ పోయం రిటన్ బై హ్యూజ్, లాంగ్స్టన్ హ్యూజ్. హీ ఈజ్ ఆఫ్రో అమెరికన్ రైటర్. అమెరికాలో పుట్టినటువంటి ఆఫ్రికన్ ఒక మంచి కవి. సో ఆల్ హిస్ పోయమ్స్ ఆర్ వెరీ సింపుల్, సో వీ కెన్ అండర్స్టాండ్ వెరీ ఈజీలీ. ఈవెన్ దిస్ పోయం ఆల్సో వెరీ సింపుల్ పోయం. వెన్ యూ సీ, డూ యూ ఫైండ్ ఎనీ రెగ్యులర్ లెంత్ ఆఫ్ ద లైన్స్? నో. ఈచ్ లైన్ హ్యాస్ ఎ డిఫరెంట్ లెంత్. ఒక్కొక్క లైన్ చూస్తూ వచ్చామంటే ఈ పోయంలో, ఒకటేమో చాలా పెద్దదిగా ఉంది, ఒకటేమో ఒకే వర్డ్. చూడండి, లాస్ట్ లైన్ 2 words only. In between single word తో కూడా ఒక లైన్ ఉంది. సో వాట్ డు వి అండర్స్టాండ్ హియర్? ద స్టైల్ ఆఫ్ ద పోయం, స్ట్రక్చర్ ఆఫ్ ద పోయం ఈజ్ నాట్ ఇంపార్టెంట్, బట్ వాట్ హీ ఫీల్స్, ద కంటెంట్. తను మనసులో ఉన్నటువంటి ఆ కంటెంట్ అనేటువంటి దాన్ని ఒక పోయం రూపంలో పెట్టాలి. అంతేకాని హౌ ద పోయం షుడ్ బి స్ట్రక్చరలీ, సో హీ డిడ్ నాట్ థింక్ అబౌట్ ఎనీ కైండ్ ఆఫ్ rules and regulations, grammar, whatever it may be. So he wanted to write the poem and it should reach the hearts of the people very easily. They should not be very bombastic words, expressions, comparisons and all. Very simple. So first let me read the poem. Then let us see line by line. It was a long time ago. I have almost forgotten my dream, but I was there then, in front of me, bright like the sun. My dream, in front of me, bright like a sun, my dream. And then the wall rose slowly, slowly between me and my dream, rose until it touched the sky, the wall, shadow, I am black. I lie down in the shadow, no longer the light of my dream before me, above me, only the thick wall, only the shadow. My hands, my dark hands, break through the wall, find my dream. Help me to shatter this darkness, to smash this night, to break this shadow into a thousand lights of sun, into a thousand whirling dreams of sun. A beautiful poem. You see, certain words are repeated: rose, sun, shadow, black. So these words are repeated. So what does this show? This shows that his mind is full of agony. తన మనసు పూర్తిగా కూడా ఒక యాంగ్విష్, ఒక ఆవేదన. వాట్ ఈస్ దిస్ యాంగ్విష్? క్రయింగ్ ఫర్ ఫ్రీడమ్, క్రయింగ్ ఫర్ ఇండిపెండెన్స్, a cry for equality, brotherhood, and love from the white people. It was a long time ago. I have almost forgotten my dream, but it was there then in front of me, bright like a sun, my dream. Actually, the poet had a dream. Very long time ago, he had a dream. So it means that he had a dream when he was a child, when he was in his childhood days. But as he grew older, he had forgotten his dream because there was no possibility of becoming his dream true. His dream has become a dream forever, that's all. So why slowly or little by little he has forgotten the dream. So there was no dream at all for a few days. But suddenly, when he had grown older, when he has come to the age of 60, once again the dream came before him in front of the author. There was a dream. It just twinkled very bright like a sun. So the dream stood before him. When he grew up, when the poet has grown up, the dream has come and it stood before the poet. So it was his dream. This is the first. And then the wall rose slowly, slowly between me and my dream, rose until it touched the sky, the wall, shadow, I am black. See, when you see, his dream has become very strong. When he has grown up, there was a dream before him, but between the poet and the dream, there was a wall. So a wall rose, that means rising. There is a wall rising between the dream and the poet. How did it rise? It rose slowly. The wall rose very slowly. So what does this wall represent? It represents the racial discrimination, racial injustice. So the wall between the dream and the poet rose very slowly, slowly. Between me and my dream, between the poet and his dream, rose. How tall the wall has risen. It had reached the sky. Until it touched the sky, it was slowly rising, the wall. So it reached the sky. That means the strong wall. Wall has become very strong here. It shows that the racial injustice has become very strong. So his dream of getting freedom, his dream of brotherhood, his dream of love, his dream of equality is not at all going to happen. It was his dream. So his dream has become a dream, that's all. It would never become true because the racial injustice is very strong between the poet and his dream. So there is a wall. Now there is a shadow behind the wall. So behind the wall, the poet is lying. Lie down in the shadow. In the shadow of the wall, he is lying down. He looks black. So that shows he belongs to a Negro. He belongs to an African. So the suppressed group. So he is lying down in the shadow of the wall. No longer the light of my dream before me. There was no hope of his dream becoming true. His dream would be unfulfilled because no longer the light. He is lying down behind the wall in the shadow, so no longer the light of his dream before him. There was no dream at all. So he would not forget his dream. Above me, only the thick wall. So, what appears between the dream and the poet? A very thick wall, nothing else, only the shadow. My hands. How are his hands? Dark hands. So that shows the black color, the racial injustice. So the racial injustice would never make his dream fulfill. His dream would become a trash, that's all. So there won't be a possibility of any possibility. There is no hope at all. So here the poet loses his hope and he feels that here in these lines we can understand the poet realizes that he was defeated. He was defeated. So there was no scope or no hope of getting his dream fulfilled. So why? My dark hands break through the wall. He wanted to break the wall and reach his dream. Find my dream. Help me. Oh, my dear, help me to shatter this darkness. I wanted to break the darkness. Please help me. I want to smash this black night, the ignorance, the wall that is injustice. So I wanted to break this shadow. I wanted to break this shadow first. I wanted to reach my dream. I wanted to fulfill my dream. My dream is we, Africans and Americans, black people and white people should become one. They should walk hand in hand. They should happily study in one place. They should happily live in all places. There should be no discrimination, injustice for the black people. It was the hope, it was the dream to break this shadow. Our poet is struggling like anything into 1,000 lights of sun, into 1,000 whirling dreams of sun. So, with the hope in the closing lines, the concluding lines shows a little hope that with the help of something, some kind of power, certainly one day or the other, my race, I mean the Africans, would certainly reach their dreams. They would certainly become successful. They would get freedom. They will be happy. So people of America live together. They would go hand in hand. There would be brotherhood, there would be love, there would be equality. So this is the hope, this is the dream. So it started when he was a child, and when he has grown up, the same dream stood before him. So what does it mean? For about a lifespan, a span of life, a lifetime, the dream was not at all fulfilled. So how long they have been in this country with ill treatment of the white people. So this is highlighted in the poem As I Grew Older. So when we see the summary, Langston Hughes, As I Grew Older, begins about a dream. Actually, the poet had a dream very long back, very long days ago. The poet says his dream was just very bright, and just in a few years, his dream had disappeared from him. Once again, when he reached the age of 60, the dream stood before him very bright like sun, and there was a wall between his dream and the poet and his dream. So a wall was rising. So the wall represents the racial discrimination and injustice. The poet is an old man now, and he is thinking about the dream which is dreamt very long back. He had that dream very long back, very long time ago. He thinks he has almost forgotten his dream. Once again, it has come to the light of, it has come before him. He remembers that his dream was not fulfilled, as a strong barrier was between the two, the poet and the dream. What was the barrier? The barrier was social injustice. Say, racial discrimination. So, strong barrier. It was created by his fellow people. Who were his fellow people? The white people. So, they created a very strong wall that was impossible for anyone. White people who will not let his dream come true. Actually, they had dreams. I mean, black people, but their dreams would not come true because of his fellow men. I mean, the white people. They did not allow. They did not. Um, given. They did not give any kind of possibility. The wall seems to grow forever and ever, and it has become. It has become very small. It has become very tall, that it is rising, rising, rising. So until it touched the sky, the wall was rising. The dream, which was as bright as the sun, has now turned black, dark. Now the dream is slowly going away from him. That means his dream would never become true. He has understood, because of the strong white people. They were very strong, that they were not ready to give freedom to these people. They would never treat them equal. So it was the strength of the white people, because of their, unity. Black people lost their hope. So the dream was almost getting dark. Going away from him. The wall has become a long dark shadow and has been blocking his dream. So his dream was blocked because of the barrier. The barrier was the racial discrimination or injustice. The dream being replaced by a shadow. The poet has become black. So it shows that the dream is going away from him. So he is not able to reach his goal. He is not able to reach his dream. So he lies down beside the shadow of the wall, which means he feels defeated. So, in the middle of the poem, we can understand that the poet feels he was defeated. He finds that his dream is no longer above him, and so he feels vanquished. That means disappeared. So, that went away from him. Instead of his dreams, he finds the thick wall. He could not see the dream because there is a very thick wall and the shadow above him. A plausible interpretation can be that the dream of freedom and independence is no longer real for the blacks. అంటే కవి తనకున్నటువంటి ఆశను పూర్తిగా వదులుకుంటున్నాడు. ఫ్రీడమ్, ఇండిపెండెన్స్ అనేవి బ్లాక్ పీపుల్కి దరిదాపుల్లో లేవు అనేటువంటిది తను నమ్ముతున్నట్లు ఇక్కడ చెప్తున్నాడు. కానీ మరలా వెన్ వి కమ్ టు ద లాస్ట్ లైన్, వన్స్ అగైన్ హీ హ్యాడ్ ఎ హోప్. మరలా అతనిలో కొంచెం ఆశ ఎగిరించింది. అంటే ఏదో ఒక రోజుకి తప్పనిసరిగా వైట్ పీపుల్ వుడ్ షో హ్యుమానిటీ అండ్ దే వుడ్ ట్రీట్ దెమ్ గుడ్. దే వుడ్ షో లవ్, దే వుడ్ షో బ్రదర్లీహుడ్ and certainly they would treat them equally. It has been overshadowed by the wall created by the fellow white people. So, who created this barrier? It is created by white people. Dark hands, that refers to the poet's own hands, the color of the skin, the black people, who will be able to break through the wall and finds his dream. So it is not in the reaching state, it is not in reaching distance. The poet wants to break the wall and shatter the darkness. He wanted to drive away the darkness. That is the mm, actual barrier between his dream and the poet. So that is stopping him from reaching or attending his dream. He wants to break the shadow into thousand lights of sun. He wanted to convert the shadow into light. He wanted to make his dream fulfill. He wanted to break the shadow. He wanted to drive away the shadow or darkness, and he wanted to bring light to the people of Africans. I mean, Afro Americans, the American Negroes. So he wanted to break the shadow into thousand lights of sun and thousands of whirling dreams. So all his dreams should become true because the poet wants to break away. He wants to drive away the darkness. I mean, the barrier, the wall, and he wants to bring peace. He wanted to bring love. He wanted to bring independence to the people of black, to the people of American Negroes. So it is the poem about as I grew older. When the poet has grown older, he had different types of moods. So in the beginning, the poem has a mood that is optimistic. In the middle, there is a pessimistic mood. That means he realized that his dream would never become true. So he realized that he was defeated. But coming to the end, his hands are trying to break away or drive away the shadow, I mean, darkness, I mean, the wall, the barrier, the racial injustice. So there is a hope once again. Let us see some of the images. Look at this. This is Harlem Renaissance. In 1920, all black people uh, started a kind of rally asking for freedom, equality, equal rights, integrated schools, common schools, and a decent housing, and the end of bias. So, in this way, they raised their voice asking for freedom. So, in the streets of America, in all public places, so the black Americans started a kind of rally, but they were very badly treated. The government of America, the white people very badly treated them. So they asked for right for voting. So they asked for right for voting also. So their demands were not considered. Because of that, once again in 1930, there was a very big, I mean, in the history of India, there was a very big rally by the black people. So when you see, though there were a lot of movements, it was not that much easy. It happened. Finally, the black people could also get freedom. That is a thing. And when we come to the assignment, there would be a paragraph question. Actually, what is the theme of the poem as I grew older? ఇక్కడ థీమ్ చూసామంటే చాలా సింపుల్. కవి తన బాల్యంలో ఏం కలకన్నాడు, ఎలాంటి దేశం, ఎలాంటి వాతావరణం తన ప్రజలకు కావాలని కోరుకున్నాడు, కానీ ఎందుకు ఆ డ్రీమ్ అనేటువంటిది కొద్ది కొద్దిగా దూరం అయిపోయింది. చివరగా తను బాగా పెద్దవాడైన తర్వాత మరలా ఆ డ్రీమ్ అనేటువంటిది తన కళ్ళ ముందుకు వచ్చింది. కానీ ఇప్పటికి కూడా తన కలకు తనకు మధ్యలో ఒక పెద్ద అడ్డుగోడ, బ్యారియర్ అనేటువంటిది నిలబడి ఉంది. అంటే దట్ ఈస్ ది రేషియల్ డిస్క్రిమినేషన్, జాతి వివక్ష. అంటే వైట్ పీపుల్ అందరూ సుపీరియర్ అంటూ, బ్లాక్ పీపుల్ అందరూ స్లేవ్స్ అనేటువంటి దాంతో ట్రీట్ చేయడం. సో ఈ అడ్డుగోడని తొలగించడం వీలైతుందా? సో ద పోయెట్ envisioned to break the wall. తను ఆ గోడను తొలగించి తన కలను నిజం చేయాలా అనే విధంగా తన యొక్క పోయంని ముగిస్తూ ఉన్నాడు. సో ద థీమ్ ఈస్ యాక్చువల్లీ ద పోయెట్ had a very beautiful dream in his childhood days, very long back. The dream was longing for freedom, independence, equality, love, brotherhood. This is a good treatment. So there would be equal treatment and places in all. So there would be justice in employment, study, medical facilities. In all these things, he longed for equal treatment on par with the white people in America. Actually, that is the thing. It was his dream. But little by little, he would forget. He forgot his dream because of the hopelessness, because of the great barriers, racial injustice. So he almost forgot his dream. Once again, when he has grown up, when he has reached the age of 60, there appeared a dream very brightly before him. But still there is a wall between his dream and he. Tanaku tana dream ki madhyalo there is a very strong wall. It rose very slowly to the height of the sky. So that shows that still the white people are very strong in their minds not to give freedom to them. So they wanted to treat black people as slaves. That's the thing. So he was hopeless. In the middle of the poem, you can see the poet realized that he was defeated and it was his hopelessness. So he wanted to forget his dream once again. So the dream itself has gone from him. So it slowly disappears from him. But the poet has become a little bit realized and he wanted to break the wall. He wanted to drive away the darkness, so the ignorance, and he wanted to get back his dream, and he wanted to see both black and white people go hand in hand just like brothers, and there would be common integrated schools, worshiping places, public places, everywhere. I mean, in travel, there would be a common treatment, a common facilities would be given to black people also, better residence facilities and all. So this is the theme of the poem. So this is a paragraph question. So another type of question is annotation. Annotate the following. It was a long time ago. The first stanza, I had a dream. So there is my dream. And the second one, and then the wall rose between me and my dream, rose slowly, slowly. So to break the shadow, the closing lines of this poem, it is also very beautiful, hopefulness. As a model, there is an annotation in the textbook also. Here, let me give you the second one as a model. Actually, my dear students, annotation should have 4 subheadings. One, reference. Second one, context. Ante reference ante ekkada nundi ఎవరు రాసినటువంటి రచన నుండి ఈ లైన్ తీసుకోబడింది. కాంటెక్స్ట్, అందులో ఎలాంటి సందర్భంలో నుండి ఈ మాటలు తీసుకోబడింది. ఎక్స్ప్లెనేషన్, ఆ ఇవ్వబడినటువంటి 2 లైన్స్ లేదా 4 లైన్స్ వాటి యొక్క అర్థము Next, critical appreciation లేదా జనరల్ రిలవెన్స్. జనరల్ రిలవెన్స్ అంటే ఇది జనరల్ గా అంటే ఈ థీమ్ అనేటువంటిది ఎలా జనరల్ గా రిలవెంట్ గా ఉంది అనేటువంటిది మనం 4th సబ్ హెడింగ్ గా చూస్తాము. సో ఫస్ట్ రెఫరెన్స్, ఆ రెఫరెన్స్ చూసినట్లయితే అన్నింటికి కూడా కామన్ రెఫరెన్స్ అనేటువంటిది ఈ క్రిటికల్ అప్రిసియేషన్ లేదా జనరల్ రిలవెన్స్ అనేటువంటిది కూడా ఇట్ ఈస్ కామన్ టు ఆల్ ది annotations in this poem. So these lines are taken from the poem As I Grew Older by Langston Hughes. He is an Afro-American poet. In this poem, he wants to portray the story of his people's sufferings. His people's means the black people in America. Actually, this is the poem and name of the writer. If you write this for reference, there would be 1 mark. So for writing these name of the poet and the name of the poem, actually you will get 1 mark. So context, these lines are taken from the context. What context is? The poet has explained different symbols to talk about the obstacles, I mean the barriers between the black people and the white people. So in that context, these lines are taken from. See, what is rising between his dream and he? A wall. What is the symbol of wall? Actually, the wall symbol, what is the significance of the wall? It is the barrier. What is the barrier here? So the barrier here is racial injustice, jati vivaksha, that is. So from this context, these lines are taken. And explanation. So what do you say about this? Actually, the poet became aware of the status as second-class citizen. So the white people are the first-class citizen, and the black people are almost treated like slaves. They are the second-class citizens. There is a wall of injustice between the black people and the white people. So here it is a symbol between the poet and his dream. Actually, who created that wall? That wall, that barrier is created by the fellow white people, I mean the Americans. It appears that there would be no fulfillment of his dream in near future because of the wall rising slowly and reaching the sky. It is rising very high and reaching the sky. It represents that there would be no hope in near future that they would reach the goal, they would get the dream fulfilled. And next, the critical appreciation. We can call this a general relevance. The poet encourages the people, his people, I mean the Africans, black people in America, to fight for freedom, to become one, to get unity. The poem revolves around the strong willingness of his people to achieve their dreams. Actually, a whole black people had a single dream. It was independence. I mean, equal treatment, integrated schools, worshiping places, job opportunities, and equal rights, equality, equal rights. As we know that Martin Luther King also fought for the same kind of things, but he was a leader and he is a poet. I mean, Hughes is a poet. He expresses views. He talks about all the problems through his literary pieces, and it would reach the people of America. And certainly, they would become one, and they would get united and fight for their freedom. This is the general appreciation of the poem. Next, we have already seen the images, how they were fight for, how they were raising placards with the slogans, integrated schools now. We march for integrated schools now. We demand decent housing facilities, and we demand an end to bias, everywhere bias. So they wanted to put a full stop for all these things, and there were so many demands. So next, look at this: how people assembled in open place and in the public place, and they were there was a leader for all these black people. They stood in front line and they fought for their rights. Actually, one after another, they could achieve their rights, and finally, the people of uh, black people of America also got freedom, and now there is no discrimination. So they are working together hand in hand, and they have brotherhood feeling, and there are equal opportunities in everything. That is a thing. So before he could see, I mean, the poet, he passed away. That is a thing here. Next. Thank you very much for your patient listening to this poem. And I have shown you a model also, how to write an annotation. And this is very simple thing. This is a very simple thing. If you practice the remaining one annotation, because one is given in the textbook, one I have given as a model. If you practice one at home, means certainly it would be better for you. So almost by the time it is telecasting, actually most of you will be in colleges. However, this online classes will be very helpful to you before the examination also. You can uh, find this very helpful, and you can write exams a little bit better. This is the thing. Okay, thank you very much for your kind cooperation. Thank you. Thank you, one and all. Jai Hind.